Welcome back to Primetime News, and a special welcome to those of you watching online at onespotmedia.com. Up first this evening, there is growing outrage to a proposed amendment to the Access to Information Act, which was tabled in Parliament on Tuesday. The government is proposing to extend the exemption of cabinet documents from public disclosure from 20 to 70 years.
The proposed amendment came as a surprise not only to some members of the House of Representatives, but to members of the media and several human rights groups.
I was shocked. It felt a bit like a punch to the gut.
Like human rights activist Susan Goff, Executive Director of Jamaicans for Justice, Roger Malcolm, says the proposal would not sit well with anyone seeking proper governance of the country.
The proposed amendment is certainly concerning, primarily because the purpose of the Access to Information Act is to increase transparency and increase access to information.
When you think of the Access to Information Act and its objects, governmental accountability, transparency, and public participation in national decision making, you have to ask, how would a blanket exemption on all cabinet documents for 70 years, how would that further the objects of the Act?
In addition to human rights groups, media houses also depend on the Access to Information Act, which was implemented in 2004. Since then, the internationally accepted standard of 20 years has been the period of disclosure exemption. For President of the Press Association of Jamaica, PAJ, George Davis, the suggested extension is a retrograde step in Jamaica's democracy.
I cannot accept how, in a country where our political leaders on the rostrum, on the political hustings, trumpet their love for democracy and how the system of governance in Jamaica and the system of government in Jamaica is one that is as democratic as you can have in the 21st century. I can't see how any of that stands up to any scrutiny when you're going to make a move like this.
What impact do you think it has on a government, any government, when they know that the documents related to the decisions that they are making while they are in office will never be seen by the current generation of people? That most, if not all of them, will be dead and gone before the 70-year limit is reached.
The amendment was tabled with no time allowed for questions on the matter. The concerned groups are asking for two things. Firstly, answers to why the government believes this change is necessary.
Secondly, I think it needs to be withdrawn. There's no justification for it that has been provided, and it goes contrary to the spirit of the Act. And I would, in my humble place as a regular citizen, suggest that politicians think about what it was like before they got all this power to make our decisions, to rule us and to spend our money. And if they would be okay with, when they were just regular citizens, okay with their government telling them that they need to wait till they're senior citizens to find out what was happening at cabinet.
Herman Green, TVJ News.